they're at Nick's grandma's house.
Oh.
Yeah, doing the mulch because it needed to be done today.
So, what did you like? Do you dive off the ship when you got bombed and
What, me?
hit? Yeah,
No.
stayed on board.
I was down in the boiler room. That's where I worked, my general quarters thing. Down below, make the steam to run the ship.
Yeah.
And there were 18 guys down in the boiler room when we were hit. 7 of the 18 got out alive. And
7.
I was the last
He was the last to get
to
out.
get out alive. So,
Wow.
Isn't that fucking crazy?
we
Like,
had-
blows
you
my
couldn't
mind.
get
I'm like-
out because the smoke, you seal it off. They put the dogs, they called them, like latches to keep it waterproof, the boiler room waterproof. If you were hit and it flooded. But, so
Yeah.
you couldn't get out. Guys couldn't leave the boiler room. So they died in the smoke.
Oh man.
And it's kind of a shitty thing.
Yeah.
Kind of, a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
But we were there for 5 hours down below where, the fire was up on the flight deck and the hangar deck. When I did get out, of course, anyway, I finally, you look for a way, you knew you had to get up a deck or two to get in the air and forward because you can see the way the smoke was. And finally, I got forward a bit and I panicked. It took a long time for me to panic, but I did.
Understandably
But just
so.
then, 2 guys came in with masks on, and they led me out forward, and the chief in charge of the ballast on the ship and stuff sent me back to the shaft alleys, the bottom, the end at the bottom.
All the way down.
Where the screws turn and the propeller that drives the ship is out. But they had the valves to a lot of ballast tanks back there. So to keep the ship on even keel, we had to shift a lot of oil from one tank on this side to empty tanks on the other side to keep the ship.
I could not do that. I'm not
even
made for that.
keel.
I'd cry and jump off the ship.
What?
I'm not made for that. I couldn't do that.
Kathy, I would have just drowned you. You wouldn't have to worry.
I would hope so. I would have been dead, Pop.
Yeah.
I would have panicked. I'd cry.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
scary. I
that's
find
what-
that you tell the story and it gets me nervous. I don't like that.
That's what killed so many people. They panicked,
Woo!
But I
I would have
remember.
been one of them.
Cool head prevailed.
You
So
remember stupid things like when I was in boot camp, they told us about using your pants to make it, not the legs, and when you jump overboard, catch air, and then hold it tight at the waist, and it'll keep you afloat. I didn't need that.
That's good.
They also taught that running water hasn't drained air in it. And I opened the valve in the boiler room, had it open, put my head under it, and I would get the oxygen out of it.
that's smart.
I know.
And it helped.
That's good that the training
And
stuck with
I
you.
couldn't keep it open. If I did, I'd sink the ship.
Well, that would have
Yeah.
been interesting.
Life would have taken on a whole other lesson.
we would be sitting here having this conversation. None of y'all would. So
That's crazy.
Stupid things like that stick with you, you know?
yeah.
And I guess it helped.
Just think, all of us are here because of him.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, because of you, that's why we're here.
Wow.
Yeah, for
Oh,
real.
what did I do?
Exactly.
I ask that all the time.
So how did you get off the ship? Like as it's
I
burning?
didn't. There was no getting off.
Well, how would you just drive it back
Yeah.
while it's on fire?
Well, we put the fire out.
Oh,
You know, an aircraft carrier, all the planes were on the deck, ready to take off. They were all gassed, had bombs on them.
oh,
And all that shit
That
was
added to
rolled
it.
off, it burning. So gradually they put it out. They did. I honestly don't know how, but I had nothing to do with the fire. Everything I did was down below.
making sure that the ship floated. A little important.
Yeah, that's
You know.
Kinda.
that was probably what
We were
saved
able-
what you
we were
saved.
able to ride it.
Mhm.
It was at an 11-degree list, and we were able to, at 13 degrees, we would have turned over, capsized.
So you're real close.
So we just got it in time, righted it so it was even keel. And the after fire rooms, for some reason, the fire was on the back, you know, on the flight deck. But the number 1 fire room and number 2, there were 4 fire rooms. Number 1 and 2 had to like shut down. So there was nothing turning the screws.
Mhm.
But number 3 and 4 were able to keep up,
Mhm.
and they kept the ship moving. I think we were only
They
going.
docked the ship and they're like, all right.
I need a beer.
Alcohol, please.
Real quick.
Enough of that crap.
That's crazy.
Enough of that crap.
That's exciting.
No, it would have been pop. Let me chew the end of my cigar.
That's right.
I'm not gonna light the cigar, just chew it. Chew it.
That's a really good. That's good stuff.
Was it?
That was probably the one time Pop lit a cigar.
Yeah. Woo.
Was that what led to the fire department? Did that ultimately lead to you becoming a fireman, or
What was it?
did that lead to you kind of becoming a fireman, or just kind of how did you go about becoming a fireman from being a detective? Were you a detective first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
What?
Grandpa Joe made you go in, not made you, but had
Yeah,
you go into the
yeah.
fire department.
That was another mistake. I should have stayed a cop. I had it knocked up. I was on the sergeant's list, and I was a detective, and I left that to get a shit job in the fire department.
But that's the greatest job in the world, right?
Yes.
I think it is.
Yes, it is.
I don't regret it.
Yeah,
I don't regret it.
you know. And then, truthfully, there's no reason to retire.
No.
You know, what would you do? Get a job? You know, well, you have to work.
Yeah. That's me.
You just see.
I could in a couple of years be eligible, but like I told her, I said, what would I do? The money's good. I enjoy going to work and hanging out with the guys. You know, I'm at an easy place right now. I'm
It's
at
a
an
big
airfield.
place.
We don't really do much at an airfield.
How can you be? Don't look at my room. You'll know which is her room and which is mine. My bed ain't.
I
made.
wonder which one.
Oh yeah,
Pop, you don't make your bed?
we don't make ours either.
Eventually, I do.
Never go with mine.
See, that's what I said.
As soon as you rolled out of bed,
I know.
you had to make the bed. I mean, you just put your foot down and it
Without
was
my
like,
hearing aids, I don't hear good. So, if
Yeah. Can you hear me fine now? Like the way I'm talking now? Is that pretty
Yeah.
good? Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to have to scream at my dad. He had real bad hearing.
Yeah. And it,
It happens.
sometimes I answer the wrong question.
It's all right.
That's fine.
We understand. It's so interesting to me that that you were there during all that
Yeah.
awful time, I guess, when they were burning everything down over there.
Yeah.
Have you made plans for
So
lunch? Huh?
unlike my mother.
I'm gonna go get Claudine.
Yeah. And then we'll
Um,
plan.
I have no idea what we're doing.
Should we
I
go
would-
somewhere?
Well, I think we were gonna go out east. I
Go
don't
out
know.
east?
Well, Nick and Krista want to take them on the beach.
Go where?
On the beach in the truck.
Oh,
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm gonna grab them. We'll leave